Hi Mandeep, Daphne here. Thank you so much for your kind email. It's made me laugh because, of course, flattery, which this is a very good way of making sure that I do my very, very best for you, which of course I will. But thank you, you made my day. I'm very grateful, very kind feedback. Thank you. So in many countries, traditional foods are being replaced by fast food. This has a negative impact on families, individuals, and society. And for me, it's really important that we pick out all these elements, not just health. A lot of people just talk about health, but we want to talk about all these things if we can. So what extent do you agree or disagree? Industrialization and market economies have resulted in a paradigm shift in the dietary habits of people globally. Okay, active deliberations on the impact of substitution of regional cuisines by fast food are held often. While some regard this shift in food preferences as positive, there are others who raise concern on this change. This is interesting. I'm pausing here because I kind of want you to make the link between this and fast food. But that's not going to be the subject of the essay. So we'll carry on, but you could put something like pressure to work long hours and the expense and the sort of increasing food costs have resulted in. Let's hold this thought. This for me might be more relevant to the actual topic that you're going to answer, but let's see where we're going to go. Active deliberations and the impact why don't we just put it into an ing of substituting regional cuisines, so then you don't need the of, you don't need either. The impact of, no, you do need the first one, how? Substituting. Let's just take that out and put ing. Substituting regional cuisines so you substitute something with something else, fast foods are often held. Now, you need to get that adverb in this instance. They do change positions, but here you need it before the verb, are often held. While some regard this shift in food preference as positive, there are others who've raised concern on this change. You haven't told me what it is, this change, yet. You said there's a shift. Oh no, you have. Forgive me. Sorry, how? As positive. Okay. Personally, I agree that the consumption has a debilitating effect on various aspects related to. So we always have that preposition related to. They have to go together. People and communities. And you don't need that article. I'll come back and tell you why in a minute. This essay will share further insights. Okay. I don't think you need that, Mandeep. It's getting long. I would take that out. Let's just get back into the grammar here. Now, commas. Okay, the deal with commas is think about them as needing them with relative clauses. So think about them as breaking up a long sentence into little sections. If you have a relative clause, for example, last night I had a meal, comma, with some very dear friends of mine, comma, in a new restaurant. So the bit with some very dear friends of mine is extra information. So that can go in that goes in commas. The main sentence is last night I went for a meal in a new restaurant. So you're only putting commas to separate. So here, personally, I agree that consumption of fast food, there is your subject. Okay, so if we put that in red, and here's your verb. You've got to go subject-verb. You can't put a comma in the middle of a subject-verb. That is your sentence. Consumption of fast food has a debilitating effect. Yeah? So you cannot have a comma there separating your subject and a verb. I don't think you need that. Preposition related to. Watch out for prepositions. They're called dependent prepositions. Okay, so interesting start. I love the high level. You're writing in a very nice style. Divergent food preferences of family members, especially, now here you've got it, that's perfect, especially the younger generation's inclination for fast food, has had a negative impact on the dynamics of the family unit. Perfect sentence. The family meal, known to be a unifying factor across generations, yep, also correct. the family meal, now with, rather than now with, but faced with, or in dealing with different food choices, often at different times, I think this is the other thing, has siloed families. Siloed families. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I've just done a quick word check on that. That word doesn't exist in English. A silo exists, but not in a verb like that. Maybe has split families, or I think I might actually just use the use continuous tense. Is upsetting, or it's upsetting, is challenging. And I would go the family bond, because that is what it is. It's not, you need to be specific about what is being challenged or upset. So the family bond. Another aspect is that it's a hallmark of regional cuisines. Hang on a minute. So as well as reducing levels of nutrition and fresh ingredients, common or a feature or a common feature of regional cuisines or traditional recipes. I think you can tidy that up. I wouldn't start with another aspect is. So for me, that sentence doesn't work very well. I think you can join it onto the main sentence here. The family meal, known to be a unifying factor across generations, is now dealing with different food choices, often at different times, which is upsetting. On my reading, you'd have to go which is upsetting and challenging the family bond, as well as reducing levels of nutrition and fresh ingredients. Okay, it's a super long sentence. It's probably too long, but you get the idea of what we mean here. So this idea, I'm just bringing it in with it, as well as reducing. So it's just a bit tidier. So I don't think, for me, you don't need that sentence. On the other hand, eating fast foods has a negative impact on health. So it has singular verb because you're dealing with eating, not foods. Health, you don't need an article, you're talking about health in general, as they contain preservatives. You'd have to say as these contain preservatives that have a debilitating effect on health. Okay, recent research conducted, just not a recent research, just recent research, indicate, I'd go into the past tense with your example, high incidence of diabetes and Now, so here, negative impact. So rather than, on the other hand, you really want additionally, on the other hand, would suggest you're changing views, but you're not. You're still telling me the bad stuff. So additionally, or another one is furthermore. Furthermore, eating fast foods or the consumption of has, then you're okay. Another, okay, yes, you're absolutely right, but it's almost like this paragraph is too long. If you look at the balance of this, you need to have a slightly shorter intro, and then these paragraphs should balance. So I know it's an interesting point, but I think you have to take out that, because you have to come into, there are some, either you're going to go on and say it's bad, or you may change ideas and say it's good. Here you've said it's negative, though in some circumstances where choice has to be made between convenience and hygienically packaged food, no comma. Packaged food over local food made in unhygienic conditions, fast food is certainly a preference. Okay, so now you're saying it could be good. That's fine. Okay. In some circumstances where choice has to be made between convenience and hygienically packaged food over local food. Yeah, you definitely don't need a comma here, because you heard me pause and then I went, because logically I don't need that. I will need to keep going there. Over local, yeah. Fast food is certainly in preference as these products, especially from good organisations. Now you need commas because that's extra information there. Adhere to quality standards. Yeah. Also, the multiplicity of origins and range menus to choose from, including international cuisines, is being offered by the packaged food industry. We would say processed, not packaged. Any food can be in a package. The problem here is that it's processed. As another positive factor, so you need to have a bit more here, allowing diners to learn and explore specialities from other cultures. Let's bring in this bit of cultures and heritages, which they may otherwise not have tasted. Something like that. I also think, as a positive, you could bring in the fact that it's very cheap, and for a lot of people that has made a big difference. We're getting way too long. Yeah, whoa. Okay. I'm going to put a word count on you because you've got a lot to say. I'm going to go 370. No more, please. Just try that. See what you can do. You should be able to argue with that limit. Okay. So if you look at the balance, you need to reduce that intro. I definitely think this is better than that. You haven't talked anywhere about industrialization anywhere else, so that feels a little bit out of context. I think you need to rebalance these paragraphs. Make it very clear. This is good. Your signposting, where you're going forward and where you're changing direction. So, for example, that is very important. That signposting there, it's another argument on that side. Then you're changing arguments. And here you need to expand just in order to make that paragraph a bit longer. Therefore, based on the above, that's a bit brr. Just go in conclusion. I agree, the emergence of fast food and consequent reduction has negative repercussions. Absolutely, that is a lovely conclusion. You don't need that bit. Good, very nice, Mandeep. Super writing. I love how ambitious you are. I love the academic style, which I think is working really well. Great vocab. You should make up a name. Sorry. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. It's a friend, so it's really important that the greeting is okay. So, dear Sam, because otherwise, sometimes you're going to need dear Sir, Madam, and I need to know you would get that right. Yeah, you could put your name, it's fine, or put Fred, it doesn't matter. Hope this letter finds your family and you. So actually we put you and your family, we do it the other way around. You and your family, move here. You and your family in the best of health. We say the best of health, it's a superlative. Absolutely. Oh, no. I know, okay, yeah, but it's still an exam. I'm writing this letter to you regarding to for me, to a friend, that is too formal, okay? I just wanted to drop you a line to say I am so sorry I had to change our plans last week, okay? It is informal. You are writing to a friend. This is really, really important. Informal, okay? I'm sorry, okay? Well, you have to say I am sorry. You can't just say I'm sorry. And I've put that in here anyway. I regret any inconvenience. I wouldn't write that to a friend, would you? Okay? So I would start off with, I know you were, I was, something like, I was looking forward to our dinner as much as you, but really annoyingly, comma, the official work that I was supposed to do. Really annoyingly, the official work that I was supposed to complete in the first half got delayed, ended up working late. Okay, in fact, I got so delayed, I would actually just say was. I know you would say got, but you've got to find this balance between what is technically correct and what is very informal. And that's trickier than it looks. I was so delayed I barely managed to catch my flight. We wouldn't say I barely, only just managed. Luckily, I'm planning to come back to visit your town. You could give the name next month, and we can surely catch up. In case you're free, maybe go not in case, as long as you're free. Now, very important. Show me the contraction because it's informal. It's okay, so use it. I'll plan for an overnight stay, so I have enough time, even if the meeting overruns. Okay, look forward to seeing you soon and that delicious dinner, or sharing that delicious dinner, or enjoying, or something like that. They are much more difficult than they look, these informal letters, especially if you're used to communicating in English in a formal style. Writing an informal style is very difficult. I think it's often underestimated, and I think it needs a little bit of thought. So just think about that. You're finding the balance between what's informal and what is correct, obviously, as well. Okay, well done, Mandeep. Good work.